Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, She Weaves Wisdom. My name is Serena Nicole and I'm tuning in for the 10-10 portal. So it's the 10th of the 10th, and I thought I'd drop in and do a current energy read. So the intention for these readings is they reach those souls that are in most need of hearing these messages at this time. It is a collective of souls that are moving through a similar energetic frequency, a similar energetic signature in terms of their soul's growth and what's happening astrologically. I am not an astrologer. I read energy intuitively, and I also use cards to support what wants to come through. I'm really feeling this guidance around rest. I just feel I've stepped into, as soon as I started this reading, it's like I feel really fatigued. And this may be something you too are experiencing, is like this sense of fatigue. I feel really heavy in my body. There's just an invitation to slow down, to keep things really simple, and to rest as required. I've actually been feeling this myself in terms of overthinking and needing to just keep it simple, keep it light and keep it simple. Anytime that I found myself in my head too heavily, in my mental thoughts, my mental body, it's just been so overwhelming that I've really had to kind of practice coming back to my body, my breath, the present moment, grounding myself, getting into nature, slowing myself down, like visualizing all my thoughts coming back to me, and then anchoring them into this now moment, because I just feel like there's a lot of uncertainty at this time, a lot of transitional energy, a lot of in between, endings and beginnings, unknowns. Yeah. So patience is required, and gentleness. Regeneration. It's that rebirth energy, the phoenix energy. What is being burned away is doing so that it can come back in a new and different way. New life is being born, and it's kind of this birthing process. So like in this fatigue of like rebirthing parts of our lives, this encouragement to really soften into our feminine energy, coming back into rest and digest, slowness, softness, opening when we're feeling contracted and like tense. I even noticed, I think it was last night, I was sitting on the couch and I just brought awareness to my breath and realized I was holding my fucking breath. I was like just holding tension in my body. So just being really mindful of where that is for you. Breathing that little bit deeper, letting go of the tension that we may be holding, becoming aware of the tension we may be holding, stretching, slow walking, slow movements and dancing, salt baths. I find like salt baths are really such a like deeply nourishing thing for my nervous system. If I get into a hot or warm bath, it's like my entire being melts into that bath. I feel myself soften. Message in a bottle. All right, I feel to actually crank open a different card. I'm really feeling like messages of love are coming through in the external world. You know, it's this receptive energy too. I feel like this rebirth, this regeneration that we're going through is all around how receptive we are in life. Are we open? It's like this surrender and openness. Assessing. I feel like this feels really like a very spiritual energy to me, like really crown chakra, higher chakras, third eye. Yeah, our souls are realigning. They're really beginning to take a look at where the direction that we're heading in. The direction that we're heading in. The things that are serving us, the things that are not. But it's not coming from this really intense, like harsh energy. It's this softness. It's this feminine energy. It's from quiet awareness. It's from soft, gentle, it's like a mothering energy, like mothering ourselves. But I feel like this message in a bottle is something to do with, I just feel like there's messages of love coming towards us. And it's interesting, actually. What I'm being reminded of is in the last week, I've had people reaching out to me with messages of love. And I've also had situations where I was in a shop and I was purchasing something, but I needed to run back to my car to get my wallet, to get my card. By the time I got back, the guy that was behind me paid for my purchase. And so I came back in and he was like, "All good, that's paid for." And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." It's this energy of like what I really felt in those moments is like, oh wow, like I feel like I'm really receptive to receiving love and offers of support. And so it's this energy of breaking down barriers to receiving, breaking down barriers and regenerating blocks around receiving. And in that process, there is a natural surrender. It's like we're in need of like actually letting go of this like controlling or rigid or dominant kind of energy. It's like we're needing to actually open, soften, relax, open, soften, relax out of our like overthinking mental mind and just being sort of grounded and present. That's magnetic. That's receptive. Patience. Again, we're in that birthing canal. And I feel like the fatigue is actually because of what's coming through us. That's what it feels like. It's actually what's coming through us. The energy is like really potent and there's like an upgrade happening. So we're feeling tired as this shift in structure in what has been is changing. We have acceptance and then action. Again, it's that receptive energy. Being receptive to support, being receptive to love and tenderness and offers of appreciation and help. There's also an acceptance of the current reality. It's like before we can move forward and take action into this new space, but first we must soften and accept where we're at, accept exactly where we're at. That's how change happens. We first must accept where we're at present moment. And then through that acceptance, lovingly begin to take action in a new and different way. What else wants to come through? Okay. Just one card, please. We have got freedom. And it says independence, self-determination. Oh. I feel like in this process of regeneration, there is going to be like opportunities for us to really embody our independence and also like see how far we've come in terms of attachments and freeing ourselves from any form of attachment to people, places, patterns, behaviors. There might be a stirring of the last remnants of that, of codependency, of patterns that aren't really supporting our journey. Fuck off, guys, seriously. Receptivity. This is literally what I've just been talking about the whole time. And it says, allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to give. Right. The other thing that is happening is the balancing of independence and interdependence. It's like balancing being, and I can relate to this very much so, is like being very self-reliant and kind of independent in, a bit of a lone wolf archetype. And moving and shifting into a more receptive energy of outside support, outside influence, outside like just the giving of others. Is like being really receptive to what other people are willing to offer. But it also feels like this balancing is like what has been put out is now coming back. That's what it feels like too. Like a karmic balancing, a harmonization, which is actually the solar eclipse is coming up and it's in the sign of Libra. So it is, the scales are balancing. So what you have poured out is coming back to you. So keeping in mind the understanding of karma, what you do, what you put out there comes back to you. So if you've been putting out energy of, love, support, giving freely, whatever it is that you've been really putting out there, I feel it's going to be coming back in. And it does feel like a gift. But right now, it's this between worlds energy. And this between worlds energy is actually offering the opportunity to clean up what's no longer in alignment, what doesn't serve us anymore. What is it that we don't want to take with us into this next chapter? Any thoughts and feelings that are no longer serving our sense of self-worth, our sense of self-love, how we value ourselves, any patterns, behaviors, relationships, environments that aren't really based or centered around equal give and take, reciprocity, this sense of like value and worth and beauty. So it's like grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit. Final messages for the collective at this time. it's just, all I'm hearing is just like, trust it all, like trust everything, trust where you're at. That acceptance piece is like how we can support ourselves during this time is actually being patient with the process that is unfolding before us, accepting the things that are coming up for us, navigating through them with ease and grace and trust, and also like truth, like really seeing, is this serving me? Is this thought, behavior, belief, is it serving me? Is this environment serving me? Because I feel like this is the time of assessment, like that other card came up. It's like reviewing. We're in review mode. We're in the birth canal. And in that time, we're like looking at all the things that we're wanting to take with us into this new world. Just think of like when a baby's born, like gets born into this brand new world from the womb. So it's, what do you want to take with you into this new world? And then having the resiliency and, I want to say, self-authority and will to make those changes. A really important energy to sit in right now is the energy of peace. It's kind of what I was speaking to at the beginning, is like really noticing when your mind is overactive. Like this is not about fear. However, maybe fears are popping up, and that's to be lovingly looked at and cleaned up and brought back into a space of peace and trust and integrity. Right, final message. What's the final message for this 1010 portal and the collective that are tuning in and that I'm being a messenger for? What can I tell them? So we have got Soul Cage, and it says rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. And then it says homeland. Arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, settle. This just feels like a freedom piece. Like, again, it's that independence, freedom. But I feel like the soul cage is the ways that we've bound ourselves up in life. The ways in which our soul feels restricted or bound or suffocated or captive in any way, restricted. And as we move through this energy, the 1010 energy, endings and beginnings, we're moving into the solar eclipse, also rapid endings and beginnings. This is our opportunity to surrender, to open, to let go, to feel that sense of freedom in ourselves, feel that sense of home within our own skin, arriving back in our independence. And in that independence, there's freedom, right? It's that grounding back into ourselves, grounding back into our body, grounding back into our heart space, softening, opening. And in that process, we're actually being receptive. Yeah. That feels complete. Would love to hear from you. How's it all landing? What's your vibe? How are you navigating it all? How are you feeling? Let me know. And I will tune in and talk to you again soon. Sending you my love.